Hi, everybody. This is Delisa West, dream doula and creativity coach. And
I'm Cristina Spatero, psychotherapist and relationship coach. And we're going to be talking to you today. Thank you so much.
today we're going to talk about releasing trauma from the body. And
Ooh.
first, let's talk about the whole concept. I don't know, maybe this is not even new to people these days to realize that the body keeps, there's a book called The Body Keeps Score.
Yes, yes.
And we have trauma in our bodies and it gets stuck there. And getting stuck, it might just be a stomach ache or a headache or some kind of body pain, and maybe something even bigger.
Right.
So what are you doing? You said you've been working with some clients lately, releasing trauma from their bodies. How do they notice it? And how do you come to the awareness that it needs to be released?
So I'm glad you brought up the book, The Body Keeps the Score, because there is been a lot of talk right now about how our bodies hold on to stuff. So a lot of times, and we don't even always think about it. So for instance, if you're getting migraines, if you're getting headaches, we feel it in our bodies. Our mind and our body are 100% connected. Absolutely. So sometimes now I always encourage my clients, if they're going through physical stuff, get a full medical workup, make sure nothing's going on in there. But if all physical reasons are ruled out, why are you getting persistent headaches, or why are you getting persistent pain in some ways? And the idea is that the body, we had talked about last time, I think we'd spoken about like car accidents, how you can suddenly be shaking after one and stuff like that. That is the body basically. Our system is amazing. It is designed to deal with danger. So if we're in danger, we're activating that sympathetic nervous system. It's going in there. It's ready to fight, or, flee, whatever we got to do. It's activated. It's ready. The problem is when you're dealing with emotional trauma, you're dealing with a persistent activation of your sympathetic nervous system, because guess what? It's danger, 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 danger. So the idea being that you have to actually help your body to feel safe again, and to say, okay, yeah, I know what happened to us was really scary, but we're not there anymore. And that's actually, there's several ways. So part of it is, again, creating a sense of safety. So recognizing, all right, that terrible thing that happened to me, it wasn't here. I'm in a safe space. I'm safe. That's why often when I speak to my clients, I will frequently say, this is a safe space. To, reinforce that idea, this is a safe space for you. You are safe here.
Beautiful. So you can just say, because the human mind wants to make things up. So you can say, well, that bad thing happened to me and it might happen again. What am I going to do then? What, I got to brace for it. But then you can just put that on hold for a moment and say, this is a safe space. You're okay right now.
Yes. You're okay right now. This is a safe space. Also, a lot of times, everyone's always talking about mindfulness and everything. In a nutshell, mindfulness, and I know, ton of books, ton of resources you can read from now into kingdom come about all the different mindfulness, but what it really is about, putting yourself in a present moment. So trauma is trauma of the past. It might be the long time ago, or it might be a more recent past, but the point is it's not currently happening. It may feel like it is, but it isn't. And so the whole idea of mindfulness and the whole idea of getting in your present moment is to say, hey, this is what's going on. Because whenever we are traumatized or anxious or depressed, we're in our heads. So we're actually not in a present moment. Now, that doesn't mean stuff can't be going on around you, but in this given space, in this present time, recognize you are safe, tap into your 5 senses, What do you see? What do you hear? What do you taste? All of these things, because again, you're trying to calm the body down and take it from this activated state of, oh my God, we have to get out of here, to we're actually okay right now. You can chill. We're good, body. I get it. You are a very good body. You're preparing me to flee or fight something. Excellent body, but you can calm down now because we're actually okay. So tapping into your five senses, deep breathing, progressive muscle relaxation, all of these things to bring your body into a calm, present state, a soothing place to take us from this heightened state to a more relaxed state. Now, it is easier said than done because people who are experiencing trauma are been in an activated state for a very long time. So it does take a while to get the body to realize, wow, we're actually okay. But through working it out, through practicing these things, you will get to that place.
So do you have a somatic way that you help people kind of release those traumatic events out of their body with movement or anything like that?
Yeah, movement is excellent because, again, it's all about getting the body back to present focus. We can do dance. I'm very into music. Music is actually incredibly soothing. So you put on some music and you start moving around. It's, again, a very sensory experience. So your mind is getting soothed by the music while you're putting your body into these movements, so that you are actually in a state of like, oh, okay. And then you're getting the body into, okay, we're in this music, we're doing these movements, and you're really reconnecting. I had a client who went through a very traumatic experience, and they actually spoke of feeling disconnected from their body because the experience was so traumatizing. So the idea is to reconnect with your body in a healthy way. So you've got the music playing, you're moving, you're getting your body, you're feeling your body again in a way that is pleasant and a way that is not making you think of the trauma. Even just tapping your feet, touching yourself, all of these ways to kind of like, I'm here, I'm whole, reconnect with all of this.
Right. And then I did a technique the other day. I don't remember what it's called, but basically the practitioner had me sit with a feeling that was uncomfortable for a few minutes and realize that the most uncomfortable part of that feeling was resisting it. And so to just have the feeling, whether it be fear or anger or sadness, to just sit with it and maybe even imagine that it's bigger, and maybe even bigger than that, maybe as big as the room. And just imagine that feeling and sit with it and realize our human mind tries to shut us out of uncomfortable feelings.
Yes.
But if we just sit with the feeling and let it flow through us, it goes away. It dissipates. It becomes neutral. Feeling we're so like that. What is it? The quote, the cave you fear to enter holds the treasure that you seek. I think that's a Joseph Campbell quote. So we're so afraid of looking at our pain. We're so afraid of thinking or really feeling the feelings that we have, that years go by where we're resisting it and resisting it and resisting it. We just like sit with it. It goes away like a bubble popping.
Exactly. Well, you brought up a very good point. We're afraid of the uncomfortable feelings. And I go through that a lot with clients, especially clients who've had periods of depression and anxiety. They're very worried about letting those feelings out because they're worried they won't be able to handle them. They're worried that it will overwhelm them again. And while the fear is understandable, the only way to overcome a fear is honestly to go through it. Because, as we know, what is fear? Fear, we then avoid the thing we're afraid of. But the more we avoid it, the worse it gets. We know that through phobias, we know that through any kind of fear avoidance, the fear doesn't get lessened by avoiding it, it just gets more. Because now we're training the brain to think, oh my goodness, yes, this is something we must avoid. This is
Right,
really bad.
right. Long time ago, when I was a very young woman, I worked on boats. And I remember telling my mom, I got a job running a charter boat, Mom. And she's like, honey, do you need to drive over the bar? I said, yeah, that's how you get in the ocean. So there was this river bar that went out into the ocean from where the boat started to where we went out to fish. And it was a treacherous and dangerous, different days more dangerous than others, because if you're driving a boat out toward a breaking wave, you might flip the boat over. And if that happens, everybody dies, or you have to swim, or something terrible happens.
Yep.
When I was a deckhand, every day that I went out, I thought I might die.
Wow.
I did not know how to swim.
Wow.
And I thought, oh no, who cares if I can swim? In 20 minutes, I'll be dead with hypothermia. I hope I don't have to go overboard. I was like, who cares? But every day I would look, there was a sign that said rough bar crossing, and the lights would be flashing. Rough bar, rough bar. I would look at that and go, oh. And I would just kind of hold my breath as the boat went over, and then we'd get into the ocean. I was like, okay. And at the end of the day, I would think, wow, I didn't die today. Now, that was a really severe concept of a somewhat dangerous job, but I came to realize that that might be the thrill, that people who seek extreme sports and why they love it so much, because the sport might kill them, but at the end of the day, when they didn't die, they're like, woohoo!
I didn't die today.
I didn't die. I mean, they're not really thinking that. They're like, yes, that ski run was beautiful, or I did that 27 flips before I hit the water. But living that way, to hope you don't die and go into some kind of danger, it was a very stressful place to be living from. And I couldn't do that now. Now that I'm older than 19 years old, I don't think I could live with that much adrenaline. Because the body gets all, I'm just going to say, jacked up on adrenaline.
Oh, yes. No, it is. It's totally jacked up.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is actually how you get burnout and all this other stuff, because what happens is the body can only, this is how people get sick from stress. Because the body can only, we're not meant to be in a constant activated state.
Right.
It's meant for emergencies.
Right.
But if we are in a constant state of emergency, yeah, our body's going to get exhausted. And this is when we actually will go into a shutdown mode in our body, because again, we're not meant to do this long term.
I wrote, as most of you know, I'm an artist, so I have
very nice
sketchbooks. I have sketchbooks I write notes in, and then I draw over my notes. But the other day I found this note that said, which I think is appropriate to what our conversation is, how do I feel now? Question number one. Why am I feeling this way? Question number two. Am I reliving the past? Question number three. Question number four is, am I worried about the future? 5, what do I think is going to happen? And then another question you might ask yourself is this even mine?
Oh, I like that.
Sometimes we're stressed out about something that's global, or something that's a friend. And us being worried about it isn't going to help the situation.
Nope.
It's only going to stress us out.
Exactly.
So is it happening now? Usually the answer is no.
Right. Usually the answer is no. I love those questions. That's great. You know, would you be able to put those questions like in the show notes? Because I think that might be useful for people.
Right on, I will. And I'll I got them from another life coach named Mandy. I'll
So
give her
definitely a
credit.
tribute. Thank you,
I'll
Mandy.
give her credit for that. But yeah, it's The Body Keeps a Score, a beautiful book to read.
Mhm.
We've also talked about TRE, or tremoring, as an exercise to release tension in the body. I'll put
Yep.
that in the show notes. And are you familiar with Louise Hay and Hay House?
Yes. Yes.
She wrote, of course, several great books, and You Can Heal Your Life might be the title of her book.
I
And
think it was something like that. I honestly forget the exact title, but I think
somewhere
so.
somewhere I have that. I'll put that in the show notes too, because she attributes different ailments to different things that are going on in our psyche. So like if your shoulder hurts, it might be
Yeah.
like overburdened by world affairs or something. I'm making that
I
up.
mean, absolutely. Our minds and bodies are completely connected.
Yeah.
And this is why, physical illness and mental upset, they go hand in hand. This is why also when people have been ill but have had a positive mental outlook, it actually goes hand in hand. They have better outcomes. Because again, the brain is incredibly powerful, and the brain and the body are meant to work together. I'm always drawn to the fact that, we are probably the weakest animals on this planet, because other animals, other creatures have all these defensive things they can do. They can put out poison, or, they've got fangs, they've got all whatever defensive things. As human beings, we are actually relatively defenseless, but what we have is our brain. And this is why we have a brain that reminds us of danger and says, ooh, that was bad. We shouldn't do that again, because that could lead to us getting hurt. I mean, this is why the brain retains all this stuff. This is why the brain's always thinking of a way to avoid danger. This is why our body holds on to this. Again, it's all protective, because we actually can't really physically defend ourselves.
Yeah, that's beautifully said, because I think that what people get stuck on is their brain has all these thoughts, but really our conscious brain's only reason for working for us is to keep us safe.
Yes.
Keep you safe, keep you safe, keep you safe,
Yes.
keep you safe, look for danger, look for danger, look for danger, look for danger. And then, all the other things.
Yeah, exactly.
Did I leave the burner on?
Exactly.
Keep you safe from burning your house down.
Yes.
Did I turn the
Yes.
blinker on my car? Yeah, keep you safe from getting in a crash. And it's all about safety.
It's all about safety for the brain. It's all about safety. The brain's whole job is to make sure that we stay safe, that we survive. That's what it is. It is pure survival at its most basic level. So when we look at our anxieties, when we look at the things we're most worried about, this is why fear is such a primal emotion. This is why we get into trouble with fear, because at our heart, we're designed to avoid danger and to keep ourselves safe. And that's why fear is so potent. But the problem is, emotional fear is just as potent as actual physical danger. And this is where we get into the psychological issues. This is where we get into the negative mindset issues, because somewhere underneath all that is something that is terrifying us. And we are conditioned to avoid that terror.
Right. So the conscious brain keeping us safe all day long. And then there's the subconscious mind that is running 95% of what we do. And it's also tasked with keeping us safe.
Absolutely.
But keeping us safe maybe in a way that we don't even know we're doing, like some idea we got when we were 4 or 5 years old of how to be safe.
Exactly.
And maybe that worked as a 4-year-old, but when you're an adult, acting in a way that might have served you as a 4-year-old is not probably going to be your best result.
It's not going to help you now. And I'll even go a step further. When we're afraid, for instance, why do we have issues in relationships? Because we're afraid of something. Maybe we've gotten hurt and we're afraid of, like we talked about before, we're afraid of feeling that pain again. We're
Right.
afraid of getting hurt again. So we don't put ourselves out there. So we sabotage relationships because, again, something happened and we're afraid of that. Or why aren't we going for that job we want or pursuing that dream? Because we're afraid to succeed. We're afraid to fail. We're afraid we won't be able to handle it.
Yeah, 100%. Which I think is why most people give up their New Year's resolutions in the first 2 weeks. 80%.
Yes.
80% of people give it up. So,
Yeah.
we're talking the second after the first 2 weeks of
Mhm.
2023, and 80% of all the people who decided to do something as a New Year's resolution have said, "Oh, that's too hard. I don't want to do it," or "I'm afraid to do it.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna do my life and yeah,
Yeah, I'm not even gonna try.
yeah, yeah."
It's true.
Although I think people listening to this probably do want to try. They do want to be their best
Yes.
self.
And this is why we're here. We're here to support you, to help you, because really this is all about bringing awareness. When we have these wonderful conversations, which we love talking about this stuff, but a big part of it is to bring awareness to our listeners and to maybe help them think about something in a different way.
Right on.
And if they want support and a little guidance of how to change that mindset or deal with that fear better, we're here to help.
Right on. Thanks for the talk today, Christina. It was
Yeah.
lovely as usual.
Thank you. I love our talks.
Bye for now, everybody.
Bye.